Hey everybody, Stephanie here with the Machine Gun Nest with our newest legal update. So this legal update has actually been a culmination of some events that have been happening since last year, and they're really important. The state of Colorado has voted to overturn their preemptive law. Now this was done last year, but its consequences are continuing into this year and forward. So what is the preemptive law, or what is this preemptive statute? It simply states that when a higher authority's law and a lower authority's law clash, that the higher authority's law supersedes that of the lower authority. So what that means is a municipality cannot enact a law, or even a county cannot enact a law that will supersede the state if those clash. So how that plays out within the gun world is this. If a state issues a concealed carry permit and it says you're allowed to carry throughout this state other than maybe these explicit places, a municipality or a county is not allowed to say in a blanketed way, well, you can't carry here, we're going to enact special laws here that overturn that. Now, that is something that has protected a lot of our gun rights throughout the ages, and the preemptive law actually came into being around 1970. And it wasn't until 1981 in a suburb of Chicago called Morton Grove where the first repeal of the preemptive law took place. So that has kind of set a domino effect in motion that really hasn't gained traction until now. Right now, 42 states have a preemptive statute that do protect our rights and protect states' rights. But since then, here are the 8 states, and they're not going to surprise you, that have repealed their preemption. California, Connecticut, Hawaii, Massachusetts, Nebraska, New Jersey, New York, and now Colorado. Nebraska, what? So what's fascinating about this is that Senior Counsel of Giffords, one of the largest gun control advocacy groups out there, Allison Anderman, is now taking charge to meet with other leaders of other municipalities throughout the country to try to convince them to do the same thing. So now that Colorado is the newest state to have success with this, she's on a mission and Giffords is on a mission, and soon we're going to see other gun control groups going after the same method because so far it has proven to be successful. So what are the consequences of this, and why is it a big deal, and why should you care? Well, let's say you get a concealed carry permit in the state of Colorado, or any state where they're fighting for this. You want to be able to know that you can carry throughout that state. Imagine driving down the road and entering another county and not knowing that just merely passing through or carrying in that county at all will criminalize you. It would essentially turn states into this balkanized version of city-states of total patchworked nonsense of laws, and it's impossible for a regular citizen to know what they're doing. It's impossible to, one, enforce, and it's impossible to even abide by the law in that situation. So back in 2021 in Boulder, Colorado, a man using an AR-style rifle, I don't know if it was an AR, but it says an AR-styled rifle, went to commit a mass shooting in a grocery store. And like most mass shootings, they are typically followed by a wave of gun control legislation, whether they pass or not. So this is what prompted that in the state of Colorado, and they were successful with this endeavor. This also has its roots, like I said, in 1981 in Morton Grove outside of Chicago. So this could set a precedent, and now that social media is obviously present, it was not present in 1981, we have more easy ways of mass communication throughout the country. It's easier for other states to kind of catch word of this movement and try to enact it. Another place this came from was the whole establishment of maybe sanctuary states or sanctuary cities. The difference is a sanctuary state, municipality, county has its roots in civil disobedience. A sanctuary area is essentially saying, I see the law that's standing, and we are not going to enforce that out of a root of civil disobedience. Whereas they're essentially saying the same thing and saying, okay, if you want to split up like that, we're going to remove the preemptive statute, and now we're going to make it actual law. And we can see how what is good on one side of the coin can now be used poorly on the other side of the coin. A lot of people on the left are actually pushing to repeal preemptive statutes in other states like Arizona. And I have a quote for you from a Tucson councilman named Steve Kozachick. And he said, there's even more concern for the right to bear arms than the right to be safe. You can't even have a conversation with them. It's just religion to them. His statement actually reveals the crux of the disconnect between those who value the Second Amendment and those who don't understand and are just trying to legislate. I absolutely, as a person on a human level, understand the desire to do something after seeing some of these mass shootings happen. But what we know, and what Rasmussen polls even back up, is that the American people at large know that more gun control isn't the solution, and that we just need to simply enforce the laws that we already have on the books. We're going to keep you updated as this develops, because gun control activists are going to be trying to push for this across the country. Please be aware, if you hear about any bills being presented on the floor of your state, get involved, make the phone calls, and get your friends involved, because this can be overturned. We'll keep you updated as it changes.